Hello, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and today I'm going to talk about a idea about why opposites happen, right? And why we have this idea of, well, that didn't happen, so what's going on? My reality isn't happening, what's going on? A firework bursting and not bursting is also happening. Both light up your desired end. Reality only ever happens. It can't not happen, right? Think about fireworks. When a firework bursts, that's a firework happening to be bursting, right? When a firework doesn't burst, that's also happening. But what we think is that it didn't burst, so it didn't happen. No, something else just happened. Another version of reality happened, right? It doesn't negate a firework bursting, and a firework not bursting doesn't negate a firework bursting. Say, no, but I wanted that one to burst and this one didn't, right? Or something like that. It doesn't matter, right? So we sometimes do say, oh, it didn't happen, but the truth is something did happen, right? The happening of a firework not bursting. I know it sounds like a very cyclical idea, but that's what reality is. Both bursting and not bursting are experiences of happening. There is no such thing as not happening. There is no such thing as not being, and there is no such thing as I am not, right? And this is how reality itself works. Let's say you've chosen an old assumption and that has been running in your life in the background. I am not chosen, right? I am not chosen. And then one day you realize, no, I am reality. I am reality, and I can pick and do and choose any form of reality because it's one with me. I don't have to force the form into being. I can't make a firework go into the sky and burst it any faster than it does. So I'm just going to choose I am chosen as my unfolding and physical reality. Now you have a new sense of awareness of an idea, a new identity. And when you shift like that, reality doesn't erase the old idea, right? Instead, you experience the happening of that change. You did an internal thing, you changed it internally, right? You see the old reality, you see the old feelings, you feel them. And now you stand differently in that same three-dimensional experience than you would have done previously. You no longer resonate with what's going on. You're no longer agreeing with this thing by trying to fix it or accepting it in a way that says, okay, I need to move on or I need to fix it. That's what accepting that situation is, right? Disagreeing with it is saying internally, that's not my reality. This is my reality, and I'm calling it forth because I am God. That is the happening of your experiencing of having shifted into a new identity by knowing yourself as I am awareness. Even the change of mind itself is a happening. Right? I keep saying that in this thing, but it really is what I want to be hammered in. Every shift in consciousness is reality in motion. So whether you are seeing something old or something new, it's still your reality happening. And here's how you can understand that. If the old stuff appears, the old ideas, the old variations and iterations of reality, it's just evidence that you are now no longer the person who is agreeing with that, because you're considering it old in the first place. You say, this is not who I am, this is not my chosen reality, because you became aware of a chosen one now. So you have to become aware that this is no longer who you are. You experience everything that goes on within you that you intend, right? So if you intended that, hey, these thoughts are no longer who I am and the situation is no longer who I am and I've made a change, how would you know that change happened if you didn't see it actually happening? That's the evidence in the three-dimensional world that you crave so much, right? That we all want. It's that evidence of you standing in your own knowing is evidence that you have shifted. Otherwise, how would you shift? I think Bashar says that, right? If the new appears, that's just evidence of resonance with your chosen state. So it's always happening in your favor. Nothing can ever happen not in your favor. That doesn't exist, right? It's happening because reality can't not happen. You can't not be, you're always being. And here's the thing. We sometimes think that true opposites happen, which is why we say my reality didn't happen. But it can't be, because true truth, that all truths exist, all experiences exist. When I say all experiences exist, I mean that a lie and a truth of the same situation can exist. And that's the ultimate truth. Now, there is no opposite to that truth. The truth of all things exist. There is nothing because anything that doesn't exist, it doesn't exist, right? And we don't know what doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. You can't even contemplate what doesn't exist, because if you can contemplate anything, it must exist on some level. God has no true opposite. Source has no true opposite, because that would imply something exists outside of a source of it. Nothing does. There is no true opposite. So reality can't not happen. Reality is only ever in your favor. It really is a rigged game, right? In your favor. There's no objective thing happening where you try to make a subjective life. There's no opposition in this. The old doesn't block the new. They're just different viewpoints of the same thing. It's literally made in your favor, but you can experience things that make you feel as if it's not. Every thought, feeling, or event, even the ones that look like it's not, are still happening within the totality of what you are. All experiences exist. That's the truth. There's no opposite to that truth. All things exist. It's like, no, but some things don't exist. How can something not exist? If you're aware of the something, it must exist. Right? If you're aware of something, it must exist. What you consider is something existing in a certain way. If you think something is physical and that's the only way it exists, then that's not necessarily the same thing, because now you're considering what reality is. Reality is everything, because you don't have evidence of an actual physical past. You have evidence that you experienced a past, like photographs and videos and all of that stuff and memories, but you don't have any actual evidence of the past itself. You have evidence that you experienced a past. You can't go back to it, right? But you wouldn't say it doesn't exist, because you can't physically experience it again. You can be reminded of it, but that's not the same thing now, is it? And you know tomorrow is going to come into your awareness, but where is it? Your knowing of an idea is the idea existing. So remember the firework idea, right? Bursting is happening. Not bursting is also another kind of happening, right? Both experiences exist. That's the truth of it. Both of them light up the sky, just in different ways. One lit up the sky with light, one lit up the sky by not lighting it up. So you lit up that whole reality where it didn't blow up, and you are the knowing that lit up the reality where it did blow up. Both are you lighting up that reality. And you can light up both regardless of which one you experienced. So if you experience it blowing up and you wanted, yeah, it'd be fun to make it, to see it not blow up. If you didn't see it blow up, no, I prefer it blowing up. You've lit up both by knowing them. That's the light. That's the light that God said, let there be light. He said, let there be knowing, not light. Let there be knowing. When you know something, you lit it up. And both of those ideas, all of the knowing that you know, light up your desired end. Because you are always happening, and reality is only ever happening. Reality doesn't not happen. So, I hope that's clear. Much love, much light. Thank you for all joining the channel. A lot of subscribers popping in now and then. Beautiful. A lot of people joining the Facebook group as well. I honestly love it, truly. Thank you for the liking, subscribing, following, sharing, comments. TikTok page available if you want to join and ask me stuff there, and you can get to see other forms of content there. You can join the community page, the Facebook one, and you can drop questions in the community, and you can answer questions if you feel as if you have a thing to share. You can share posts about reality creation and your own insights and stories and this and that. If you want to talk to me personally, please email me. It's in the description box below. That being said, much love, much light, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.